How do you cope with anxiety when you're outside or you're in shops?
Are you listening? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This question came in. How do you cope with anxiety when you're out and about or if you're in shops? I guess in any situation where you might feel uncomfortable. So it's agoraphobia is what we're talking about. How do we cope? If you haven't already, click the subscribe button. Like this video if you like the content. Share the video, maybe. And yeah, if you've got any questions, stick them in the comments below and I will add them to the list and try, eventually, to get round to them. So I've had way more questions than I thought I was going to get initially. And it's cool, because that's what I wanted. If you're enjoying the videos, I don't know, just pick and choose whatever you watch. If you struggle with something, then hopefully it gives you something to refer to. These questions might not be for everybody, but this one is something that I know all too well. How do you cope when you're outside or you're in shops, stuff like that. And I've spent years trying to deal with this stuff. But I have noticed that recently I've been just doing it anyway. Like yesterday, I've got examples just the last couple of days. I went to the garage yesterday, put fuel in my car, and then went in to pay. And I was with somebody, with my girlfriend. But the guy at the checkout, we got to the checkout and he said the card machine wasn't working. So we had to go outside to the ATM, get some cash out, go back in. The queue was big. We were standing around for 5 minutes. And I was getting those questioning thoughts and am I dizzy? Because I didn't really feel that dodgy, but I noticed that I was questioning do I feel dodgy? And if I didn't feel dodgy, then why don't I feel dodgy? Usually I do feel dodgy. So I had a few sensations, a bit of me swaying. I stand when I'm in a queue, in a checkout queue, I sway from side to side just to see how I'm feeling. It's weird, testing my balance and stuff like that. So there are things that I still do, and I notice when I'm doing them. But, I felt edgy at times, and there was times in my mind when I was thinking to myself, I need to get out. I said to my girlfriend, I need to go now. I need to get out. And she just looked at me and she was like, no, you're good. So having somebody there, it is a massive thing for me. And I know that I've done videos, and when I've done videos out and about, probably 99% of the time I'm with somebody. I have done a few walks on my own before, and they've been just as successful as the times when I've been with somebody else. So I don't think it makes that much of a difference to have somebody there. It's just maybe when I reach that point of I need to bail, if I say those words and have somebody there that says, no, you don't need to bail, that kind of helps. But obviously, not everybody has somebody that they can call on or rely on, or the support. I hear all too often that people are maybe in partnerships or they've got close friends or whatever, but they're not, or they don't know how to handle the situations when they arise. And you can't really expect people to know how to deal with somebody that's wanting to vacate a shop or get back to their safe place, because to people that don't understand what it feels like, it's foreign. How can you understand? Why would you need to exit this shop now? What force is driving you to want to, or feel the need to get out of the shop? What? Because people that don't understand, and you can't blame them for not understanding. So, for those people who don't have somebody, because that would probably be my first thing, is I know it's kind of a safety thing, and having a safe person is not good, but if you're completely stuck, and you can't get out, and you can't do anything, then I would suggest, my personal opinion, maybe not that of the professionals, but I would say to do something with somebody just to get your foot out of the door. You can't expect to be able to just flick a switch, erase all your safety behaviours, your safe people, your coping mechanisms and that, and just be able to just go for it. Oh wow, I accept all this crap. Now I'm free to just do whatever. It doesn't work like that. We know that it doesn't work like that. So, if you have to, gradually, with somebody, or with a bottle of water, or with a mint, or with your phone, or your headphones in, Just doing something for the first time is better than doing nothing. So my advice, and what I do, if I'm on my own, is self-talk. I will talk to myself, not out loud, because then people will think I'm insane, but I will talk to myself and just say, like, I can do this. I know that I can do this because I've done this so many times, and every time it's a struggle. And every time I get those flashing thoughts and the waves of dizziness, or I notice my breathing patterns changed, or my legs feel like jelly. But my legs always get me there. I never stop breathing. I never spin uncontrollably. I always manage to get the task done, whatever it may be. So, in answer to the question, how do you cope when you're outside or you're in shops? You just, if you can't count on somebody else giving you a bit of a lift and helping you through it, then you use a bit of self-talk. Self-talk to help you through the process. Just calming yourself down and knowing that nothing bad is going to happen to you. Nothing bad is going to happen to you. And you will be able to get this done. In saying that, like, I've been dealing with this for a long time, and there's days where I just don't feel that I could go and do something. So, like, we're supposed to work on ourselves at those moments. The moments when you don't feel like doing it are the moments that you should go and do it, because that's when you learn the most. If you can get through going to your local shop when you feel like shit before you go, like, that's when you learn the most, because you realise that, okay, I felt like crap. I was having all these what if thoughts. I was defeating myself before I even got there. I was anticipating the worst and creating these visuals of everything that could go wrong, going wrong. But even though I felt like that, I managed to get in, get what I needed to do done, and still managed to get out of there at a nice, steady pace. I think for me, like, one of the key things that I've ever noticed when I'm doing any kind of exposure treatment, or whatever you want to call it, is like sticking with the feelings. And this is what I've been doing lately, going to my local shop and just, if I feel anxious when I'm in there, stick with it, ride it out and wait. Do not, under any circumstances, rush out of the place, because all that does is reinforces this belief that you have in your mind that escaping was the solution. All you're doing is reinforcing the belief that you have that that escape has saved you from something, when the reality is it saved you of nothing, because nothing would have happened if you'd have remained, and then you could have done what you need to do and just slowly and calmly walked out of the place. So how do you cope with anxiety when you're outside or you're in shops? You just do. You have to. Because if you don't, the disorder takes a hold of you, and you start to do less, and you start to close the circle in around yourself, and you end up being stuck in your house, too scared to set foot out and do anything. The key is in taking the lead, getting up and getting out, however small, however far you need to go. Get out there, stick with it, ride out the anxiety, and then head back slowly and confidently, because you did it.